it's legitimately scary that, what's happening at the Supreme Court, isn't it? That they actually could, voting rights could be bye-bye. Can you give us your take on what you've heard so far?
Yeah, I think what we need to do. I'm a member of the Supreme Court bar. I was for the entire time I was a federal prosecutor. I do think the members of the Supreme Court bar need to think about getting together and standing up against what the Supreme Court is doing, because on the shadow docket, what they are doing is they are taking, very thoughtful, well-reasoned and well-supported opinions by federal judges, both in the trial court and the courts of appeal, holding Donald Trump, to the law and the Constitution. And the Supreme Court justices, the right-wing majority, they're saying, you're all wrong. We're going to let Donald Trump engage in lawlessness and unconstitutionality. And we're not even going to have the courtesy to publish an opinion telling you why we're going to let Donald Trump run roughshod over the rights of the American people. How do you maintain that the Supreme Court is acting legitimately and being loyal to the Constitution when that's what they're doing? So, I think the members of the Supreme Court bar have to rise up and begin to find ways to talk about, holding the Supreme Court accountable.
Yeah. So the latest of, I think, the vindictive prosecutions they want is J.B. Pritzker, Governor Pritzker, for being a badass. So I'm like, he's already a billionaire and he's super good at blackjack. This just makes him seem even cooler. Yeah, somebody tweeted, so Governor Pritzker is good at blackjack and reported his substantial winnings to the IRS, and this is a problem. Why? I mean, they're just looking for a there against anyone they don't like, aren't they?
Yeah, and if there's any good news with all these vindictive prosecutions, is that they're going to fail spectacularly in court. And as they begin to fail, people are going to look at Donald Trump and say, it looks like you're not quite as good at this dictating thing as you claim to be, sport. I mean, I really think a defining moment was when the dictator, the dear leader, wanted a comedian to be permanently kicked off TV, and he couldn't keep him off TV for more than 1 week. What does that tell you? The powers that be don't really fear or respect the dictator if they're not even willing to yank a TV comedian. So that's some indication of his eroding power.
Yeah, we were just talking about my alma mater, USC, the latest to tell them to go pound sand, the Trump administration. We won another victory out here in California. Governor Newsom said, we're relieved the White House backed off its plans to shut down a major interstate. Now that I-5 will stay open, we hope the Trump administration applies the same common sense to reopening the federal government. So, as you always say, Glenn, points of light. Yeah. We got to take the wins where we can get them.
And the federal judiciary remains a beacon of light, but for the Supreme Court. And I do think, the growing chorus of judicial voices directly calling Donald Trump out, not only as acting lawlessly and unconstitutionally, but lying, right? He is, quote, untethered to the facts. Yeah. That is not the kind of thing any federal judge would typically be comfortable saying about a president, particularly the president that appointed that judge is the one who said he is untethered to the facts, unless it was so obvious and dangerous that the federal judges feel like they have to put that stuff in their legal opinions.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, someone else tweeted about the Pritzker thing. J.B. Pritzker is a badass at blackjack, wins $1.4 million. I need some J.B. Pritzker luck.
Yeah, right?
How are you a billionaire? You're already declares his winnings from a casino. Trump just bankrupts the casinos he owned, while his youngest son engages in insider trading via crypto and banks $80 million. I mean, talk about selective prosecution. Barron Trump will never be prosecuted, of course, but he does a short sale 30 minutes before his dad's announcement about tariffs, right?
Shocking that the Trump family continues to enrich itself and grift off of the American people.
Glenn, one last one. So obviously the AG of Arizona is threatening to sue Mike Johnson to seat Adelita Grijalva. I love that she hit back hard yesterday on Speaker Johnson, who has yet to swear her in. She said, because Johnson said, "Oh, bless her heart." when he was asked about, swearing her
come
in,
on.
she said Johnson's comments were totally condescending, patronizing, misogynistic, really telling of where he is. I think people can see what's happening here and his push to obstruct me getting sworn in. And why he's doing that is because I will be the 218th signer to the Epstein files. And this delay tactic, I believe he's trying to get one of the other 4 Republicans who signed on to the petition to remove their name. So my swearing in is not that big an issue. Can the AG do this? Will it work? What do you think?
Yeah, so I would say don't threaten to sue. Sue.
Do it, yeah.
Right? Because what you did was, you never took, you being the folks in politics who should have acted, you never did anything about Merrick Garland being unconstitutionally blocked by Mitch McConnell, from taking his rightful place on the Supreme Court. And here we go again. This is a variation on that theme. Government officials like MAGA Mike Johnson sort of, violating their responsibility to abide by the voters' decision as to who they wanted representing them in Congress. Please don't threaten to sue. Please don't write angry letters. Please don't go on TV endlessly and say we're going to take stern action. Get into court and sue.
Yep. Can I take a moment to salute the fine patriots on this Stephanie Miller, the regulars of the Stephanie Miller Show? Dana Goldberg named to the Out 100 list, and Glenn Kirschner threads a quick thank you note. Somehow this old career federal prosecutor has ended up number 3 in the category of rising in news. That surprising ranking is thanks to y'all tuning in to my live videos here on Substack. Just wanted to say thank you. No, thank you, sir.
Yes.
And a grateful nation thanks you.
Well, thank you. This is not what I had on my bingo card in my retirement from DOJ. I'll tell you that.
Now, you didn't know there'd be so much law breaking.
Yeah.
You're just
Right.
in vogue.
It's well deserved, though.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, thank you.
It is, honey. All right. Well, we'll talk to you next week. Mwah.
Yep.
Love you. Miss you already.
Love you, Steph.
All
See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
I wanted to talk to you both, Yahweh and Yesh, because I wrote a book, and it's about you guys, but it's really about some of your fans, the mean ones, the racist ones, the homophobe ones, the ones who don't like women. You guys come off really well in the book. Jesus, you come off really good in this book.
Yeah, I've heard that when people talk about the Bible, they tell me that God, you come off really well.
Said no one ever.
Jesus comes off really well. Yeah, no, God, you're very impressive, God. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but you there's some moments, Almighty, where you're kind of the alcoholic step God. You know what I'm saying? But Jesus, he's chill throughout. Like he's proof of evolution.
But John, people have been twisting my message, right? And that's what this book is about.
It really is, Jesus. I mean, I've gone through this book of yours many times. You never said anything against the gays. You never said anything against women having to be forced to be pregnant. I mean, you're not against abortion. You're against the death penalty, Jesus. I know that. You're like your dad in that you tell us to welcome the stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the right people are twisting my message left and right, and we can't take it anymore. So we're so excited to have this book, a really rock solid resource to show people what the Bible actually says. And that's why we love you, John. You're spreading our true good word.
Simon & Schuster's Avid Reader Press presents Separation of Church and Hate, the bold, hilarious new book from John Fugelsang.